live in a world where disaster can strike at any time and in any place. These perils range from natural disasters to man-made accidents to intentional acts.
All units, affirmative, active shooter. Do you have visual? Takeout authorized.
Now more than ever, we must be prepared for every type of emergency. No longer is it good enough to have a plan tucked away in a binder in the administrator's office, and gone are the days when one type of emergency drill was enough. Today, skilled nursing facilities and other healthcare providers have specific rules and regulations that they must comply with to be ready for emergencies and disasters. Arizona's Disaster Ready program was created in partnership with the Arizona Department of Health Services and funded through the Hospital Preparedness Program to help establish the fundamental building blocks of disaster preparedness in skilled nursing facilities by providing resources and training to enhance overall emergency management capabilities in these types of long-term care facilities. When disaster strikes, seconds could mean the difference between a life saved and a life lost.
I'm so pleased to have an opportunity to showcase the Arizona Disaster Ready program. This program has been so important to so many people, and I believe that it can change lives, and it has certainly dramatically affected our visibility in the disaster preparedness network throughout the state of Arizona. We've involved a whole new generation of long-term care leaders in understanding emergency preparedness. We've begun to really become identified, I think, as part of the solution, not just part of the problem of emergencies and disasters.
We do respond to nursing homes, assisted living, facilities like that often, and some of our top addresses are these types of facilities.
Nursing home incident command is important for continuity of the event. Everybody needs to know what the plan is and what their role is in the plan.
By having a staff trained and know the job, that really helps us in terms of our emergency response as well.
It's very important for management of the event, and you have to track that event. The state is going to want to know what happened and what you did each step along the way.
When we look at our skilled nursing facilities and some of our other healthcare professionals out there, really the key in having this preparedness in place is really what does save lives. And so having a disaster plan in place and having that playbook ready to go makes it where a situation becomes a lot easier to manage.
Everything starts with a game plan. You got to put it down, and then it always goes through, and you have to have plenty of exercises to get through the plan. So you have to test your own plan out. If you don't, and you're not collaborative with the whole thing, then forget about it. It's doomed to fail.
Not only are drills important, but it's also important to do them in different ways. We have the fire drills that we have to do, but it's also important to do other drills. We have evacuation. We're trying to think, what could actually happen in our setting. What else has happened in the area as well, and how can we prepare?
In July of 2017, a transformer was hit in the local area, which caused us to have a utility outage. This utility outage happened to be on a Saturday. So it was really good for us to have an incident command center that was at the building and ready.
We got to take examples of what happens around the country and think, we could say it's not going to happen to us, but it can.
Unfortunately, we've seen incidents across the United States and even here in Arizona where an active shooter has become a significant event. And one of the things that we should prepare for is how we would approach that if it were to happen to our facility.
9 out of every 10 days, there's a mass casualty event taking place in the United States.
People died because there was no plan.
Community events like this just build those relationships. It gets everyone on the same page. It gets us interacting with them. It gets them interacting with us. And overall, they get a better idea of our facilities. We get a better idea of what they're capable of in a disaster event.
Me and my staff come to the Disaster Ready Summits because we need to continue to make sure that we're on top of the latest regulations, that we're following policies and procedures, that we are prepared for an emergency. It's not just to get CEUs, it's not just to mark a checkbox off and say, hey, I followed the regulation that the state and federal government has set. I'm doing it because it's important for me and my staff, and it's important for our patients.
The importance to me is gaining more knowledge on how to be more prepared in taking care of our patients, our staff, making sure that we have everything in line for any kind of disaster that comes our way.
Historically, we've done drills and we've got things put away in advance, and yeah, on Tuesday we're having a drill. We're not doing that anymore. We learn something every single time we have a drill.
I believe it's very important to be present in these types of conferences and these situations. Not only are you meeting with different vendors that can provide different services, but you're meeting with people that are in the same industry as you. We can always learn from somebody who had an experience that we have not had. There may be somebody you run into that's had a big evacuation plan or a big fire, and there's things that they learn from it that you can take away. So should that happen to you, you'll be more prepared.
Collaboration is huge. And the reason why it's so big, especially in emergency preparedness, disaster ready, it's big because if you don't have that collaboration, you're going to be going all over the place. And you're not going to know who to talk to in the midst of a disaster.
Are you disaster ready?
Are you disaster ready?
Are you disaster ready?
Are you disaster ready?
Are you disaster ready?